Hey now, coming back again with another Blu-ray DVD update. Picked up a couple DVDs here, one of which is really cool that I've been trying to find for a long time. Got a couple pops which I'm going to show because they're really particularly cool. I don't usually show pops, but I also picked up a bunch of upgraded stuff from DVD, and then some new stuff that I haven't had before on Blu-ray, and then quite a few actual new release titles. So, without further ado, I'll just jump right into it and get right at it. So, the DVDs, I'll show you them, then the Funko, and then right into Blu-ray. So, probably if you want to skip the DVDs and Funko, do so about 6 or 7 minutes in. So, picked up Blood In, Blood Out, Bound in Honor. This is best described, I would say, as a Scarface sort of storytelling set in a Hispanic ghetto, I guess, is probably the best way. I remember it being that this guy here is kind of adopted into the family, and they kind of grow up together, and it's this big, long, epic story about how they grow up and they get involved with the gangs, and then it goes from there. And they all kind of go on to different paths as they grow older. I don't remember a ton about this movie. I remember the basic, just kind of what I just said there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to picking this up. I was at a thrift store randomly. I've been looking for this forever. Going to a thrift store. They charge a little bit more than most places for DVDs, which kind of sucks. About $4 for a DVD used, but a lot of them are scratched, but sometimes you'll find a gem and it's worth the $4. I much prefer like $1, $2, $3 tops for old DVDs. But yeah, that's Blood In, Blood Out. It's a really good movie from what I remember. Haven't seen it in a long time. So yeah, next, Unlawful Entry. This is a sweet movie. I've been looking to get this for a while. I was just kind of waiting, hoping that they'd release a Blu-ray or something like that. They never did. I really like this artwork here. The more I look at it, I love the design on Ray Liotta's face. And yeah, so this movie here is just it's a great thriller. And basically, the movie is about Kurt Russell's character. He's great in the movie. Ray Liotta's great, and so is Madeleine Stowe. Basically, at the beginning of the movie, Kurt Russell's house gets broken into, and his wife is held kind of like at hostage when he kind of confronts the dude, and he just ends up feeling helpless, and he ends up trying to get a security after this event happens. I won't try not to spoil too much, but after this event happens, he tries to go ahead and get a security thing. And while he's there and he's thinking about this, the cop who shows up initially is very interested, and it's Ray Liotta. He's very interested. He's super helpful, and he even shows up when the security guys show up to install everything. Before long, you realize that he has some weird intentions. He's kind of messed up in the head, and yeah, I won't say much more. He just let's just say he tries to impose himself on Kurt Russell's whole life in quite a large way. So, great movie, underrated. I never hear anyone talk about it really. It's a great performance overall, especially Ray Liotta, who you have seen him crazy in other movies, particularly Goodfellas, but this movie, you can just look at him, you can just tell he's fucking out of it, and he's very manipulative. I can't speak, but he manipulates pretty much everyone in every situation to his benefit, and it's very Predator style. Great performance from Ray Liotta. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. So that's Unlawful Entry. Picked this up, got a pretty good deal on this, and that is Stephen King 4 film set of The Dead Zone by David Cronenberg. You got Pet Sematary, you got Silver Bullet, and you got Graveyard Shift. Now, I had Dead Zone on DVD standalone. I have Pet Sematary on Blu-ray, but I figured I can get rid of Dead Zone, and I didn't have these two movies. Silver Bullet, in particularly, is really good. I like it. It's a werewolf, cool movie with Corey Haim and Gary Busey, and really, it's kind of like very typical 80s sort of cheese, but I like it a lot. And Graveyard Shift I actually just watched, and I didn't really love it. I could barely pay attention. The special effects are pretty cool, and the spoiler alert, there's a giant fucking rat in Graveyard Shift. Yeah, so if you don't like rats, don't watch that movie. There's tons of them in that movie, but good movie overall, special effects wise. But as a story, I don't know if I wasn't in the mood or whatever, but I could not pay attention. But this set overall is great. Dead Zone is fantastic. I love it. I'd love to get a Blu-ray of that. I'd love to get all these movies on Blu-ray. I have Pet Sematary, but all of them, if they would just make them affordable, let's get in, you know, they don't need to be frickin' special releases every time. I guess it's a niche market, but it's annoying how, like, some of these releases will come out on, like, Arrow. I don't need an Arrow release of Silver Bullet, you know? I just need, like, a $8 Blu-ray bin sort of deal. But anyways, that's really cool. That altogether was $10. That's a good deal. So, I've been looking for that set for a while, and for a long time it was kind of expensive, so, I guess they probably reprinted a run for this Halloween. But anyways, and probably the same deal here. I don't know. I don't think this was hard to find or anything, or expensive. But I didn't see it anywhere, and now everybody seems to have it for the Halloween season. That is Mel Brooks. He's actually in this movie, directs it and writes it as usual, and that is Dracula, Dead and Loving It. This movie is hilarious with Leslie Nielsen. I grew up watching this movie. I loved it. It's just the funniest little fucking movie ever. It's kind of like a spoof film, like all Mel Brooks movies. But it's basically about vampire films and horror films in general. And yeah, Leslie Nielsen's great in it as the Dracula character. But this guy here, he is Janosch from Ghostbusters 2. What is his name? Peter McNichol? That might be it. I think it is Peter McNichol. He is hilarious, and this is Renfield. He's kind of like the, you know, like the little helper that's always in those old movies with the classic horror film trope. But anyways, the movie's very funny. Sorry, I just kind of like rambled off there. It's very funny. It's very Mel Brooks, but at the same time it is Leslie Nielsen sort of spoof, like Naked Gun, stuff like that. And it's really great. So until the Blu-ray, I got that for, I think it was $5. Yeah, $5 brand new. So that was great. Last but not least, for the DVDs is awesome. This guy was selling a bunch of movies on a Facebook buy and sell group, and I was so stoked because within it, and he was just like, whatever you want, just come and get it. He didn't care about like selling them all at once, which is a trend that's annoying because, like, you know, I understand people want to get everything, rid of everything at once, but sometimes, you know, you just want to buy a couple things. You don't want to buy $60 worth of movies for one movie, you know. But this movie is over $60 worth of movie because it's very expensive, out of print. Everybody loves it. I love it. Grew up on it. Watched it 100 times. That is Little Monsters with Ben Savage and... No, sorry. Fred Savage. Ben Savage is his brother from Boy Meets World. And Howie Mandel. So this movie's fantastic, about a kid whose monster comes to visit him and ends up like becoming friends with him, and takes him down to the monster world. It's kind of like Monsters Inc. in a way, well before that. So this is a really cool movie. I love that it's MGM because that is a company that works alongside Shout Factory, and hopefully one day maybe we'll get a Scream Factory of that because I would imagine the demand is there for this movie. Everybody loves this movie, and I was so happy. I ended up getting this for $2. It's in mint condition, and it goes for a lot more online than that. So yeah, even just used in good condition, it goes for quite a bit. In very good condition, quite a bit. Like new, a lot, and then sealed, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that is Little Monsters. Love that movie. And so happy to finally own it. Watch tomorrow. I'll find 3 more copies of it because I'm gonna kind of go out hunting tomorrow. I bet you I'll find it. That's what always happens. And or Shout Select will be like, hey, guess what? Or Shout Factor will be like, guess what? We're releasing tomorrow. But or coming up next year. Whatever though, I love it. I'm happy that I owned it, and it was a little bit of a bike ride to go get it because I don't know. I had to get up in the morning, and I had no availability to a vehicle at that time, and I just biked up, and it was a lot farther than I expected, but it was worth it for that. I also bought Jury Duty, and I watched it, and yeah, I won't be adding that to the collection or showing you. Buddy. Okay, so the 3 Funko Pops are The Shining Run, and I just wanted to show you them real quickly. So that is the back. This is Danny. We'll show you the pop in a minute, but in this run you get Jack, Wendy, Danny. But yeah, these are really cool. The one I was so hoping to get was a Chase, but I didn't think I'd ever find it. I didn't, and that was Frozen Jack. But anyways, here's Danny. Really cool. I love on the mirror there that the red rum is like on the glass. That's really cool. Very detailed pops. Look at that. Awesome. These aren't coming out of the box. I love the carpet design. That's so cool. So yeah, that's Danny. We got Wendy, of course. That's awesome. She's also got her robe, got her little knife to the fence. And yeah, very cool. I love these pops so much. I was so excited when I saw they were coming out. I didn't know anything about them, and I saw within I think it was 3 weeks that they were coming out. I was like, holy shit. Went and pre-ordered them all. And yeah, this is Jack. And he is freaking sweet. His hairline, everything's awesome. But yeah. It doesn't look like his shirt matches the shirt on the box art, but whatever. So yeah, that's very cool. I'm super happy to have all these pops. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Frozen Jack, but those Chase are ridiculous. They make them so hard. I just wish, they just make them so hard to get. I just wish they'd release all of them, but whatever. That's kind of what makes them so popular, I guess. But yeah, let me just get into the Blu-rays now. As usual, I went a little longer than I expected with the DVD and pops. So let me just jump in. I'll blast a few of these right away. Don't need to talk about these too much. Most of these either were on Blu-ray before and then kind of went out of print briefly. And now they're back in print, relatively cheap, and one is finally on Blu-ray. So yeah, that is South Park, bigger, longer, uncut. Love this movie so much. I just needed that for my South Park collection. Bassketball is my favorite of all their movies. This is one that they didn't direct, but that is David Zucker who directed it, and this is a funny-ass movie. I love it. It's great. Bassketball. I believe they did write it. And Team America, which is their most outrageous movie, probably next to Orgasmo. But yeah, which I also have on Blu-ray, but I got a while ago. So that's Team America World Police. So this is a movie that is super funny. Suck my dick, Gary. That always makes me laugh, that part. How he convinces him, I'm not going to do that. And be all Harvey Weinstein. I'm being topical with my humor right now, people. But kind of he's so suspicious about getting in the limo, and he finally gets in the limo. Okay, now Gary. But yeah, this is a funny movie, and this, even just watching them walk with the strings and the way that they fucking walk, is so funny. Loved that. Happy to upgrade that. And Super, which I had on DVD because I didn't I found this on DVD a week ago. Probably 2 weeks ago, actually, and I watched it, and I absolutely loved it. It's pretty much James Gunn's version of a superhero. I don't even know, because he's done another version with Guardians of the Galaxy, but this is like a very weird, dark comedy version of a superhero, and it's fantastic. Every bit of this movie is great. Um, awesome. I love, I love the end scene where he gives a speech to Kevin Bacon. It's great. You know the rules. That is fantastic movie. And yeah, like I said, I had this for about, I don't know, a day on DVD. I watched it, and then I'm a big fan of Talk Movies with Us and Doctor Movie 91, and they both have Facebook groups, and I'm part of them. Talk Movies with Us, and then What's Up Doc Movie Talk. Both of them are awesome places. I'm on there pretty often, posting stuff. But someone said immediately, they were like, "Hey, I have the Blu-ray of that." I'm like, "What? There's a Blu-ray?" I went online. It wasn't expensive, and it showed up in a couple days. So that's awesome. Super fantastic movie. So happy to have that. And here's one I haven't watched yet. I've seen it before, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember one thing about it, that Jennifer's body is played by Megan Fox's body, and it's very good to look at. This is like her in her prime of gorgeousness, and from what I remember, she's like a demon or something. I think this is directed by or written by the same person who wrote Juno, Diablo Cody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who it is, and it's pretty cool from what I remember. Like graphic wise, she's a pretty cool demon. She like eats boys or something like that. And Amanda Seyfried's in this movie. Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to get to watch it for this Halloween. Fortunately, this is a rental exclusive. I don't know. I got the super cheap. It's like $2. So yeah. Picked up as well Fright Night 2. Never seen this. Don't know anything about this movie. I like the original one. Well, the remake of the original one with I haven't actually seen the original Fright Night, to be honest. But I have seen the remake with Anton Yelchin and Colin Farrell. It's actually right nearby. This movie here, fantastic. But this sequel I've never seen. I didn't even know there was a sequel, and I don't know anything about it. It has some woman here as the main lead. I've never heard of her before in anything. So or the director, or yeah, anything about this movie at all. So I don't imagine to love it. I'm probably gonna give it a shot. Hopefully it's good, and I end up keeping it. But I'll probably end up getting rid of this. I got a feeling. So yeah, that's Fright Night 2. What is it called? Fright Night 2 New Blood. Okay, so, oh, here we go. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Picked this up just like yesterday for $3. I was actually at a dollar store and I seen it. It was brand new. This is the Mill Creek release. I don't have the second one. I used to have a four-pack. I think there's 4 movies. Maybe it was 3. I think it's 3, yeah. But the third one's absolutely terribly garbage. Absolute garbage, and I don't even really like the second one. It's alright. I don't know if I'd buy it for any more than $2 probably, and it'd have to be like mint. But I like the original. I don't know why. It's stupid, it's cheesy, but I don't know, there was a good time during my life going to see all these horror movies from the 90s, and this is one of them. And you gotta love that scene where, "What do you want from me?" when she's screaming. So cheese. And yeah, generally speaking, everyone's cheese in this movie. So yeah, that is I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they fuck over some guy when they're all drunk, and then the next following summer, he comes to return the favor. It's great cheese. It's written by Kevin Williamson, who did the Scream movies and all that. Wrote the Scream movies. So yeah, that's cool. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Just kind of wanted to add that. It's when I saw it. Good movie. Sequels, not so much. Mama. This was a fun movie. I didn't know anything about it other than after seeing it, which I've seen twice now. I went back to see it. I seen it like pretty much the first weekend, and then I went back just like a week ago. Not even a couple days ago, actually, like Sunday. So today's Tuesday. It's today's Blu-ray Blues Day, as I like to call it, Blues Day. And so yeah, after seeing it, I was surprised to find out that the director had only done one previous movie, and so I was like, wow, they put a lot of faith in him to do that. So his first movie probably is pretty good. I looked it up. Kind of the same idea as like John Watts with Clown, and what's the Lights Out with James Wan, and the director of that, David something or other. But it's kind of like they watched this guy's short film on the YouTubes or wherever he put it, and then they were like, "That's cool. You want to make a movie out of it?" So Guillermo, I can never say this fucking guy's name. Del Toro. I should just always call him Del Toro. He wanted to kind of make this movie with this guy, and it's freaking wicked. Classic ghost story, with a really creepy aspect of like what happens to the girls before even the ghost story's involved, and it's really cool. I like this movie quite a bit. Great special effects, definitely cool design, everything. I liked every bit of it. There wasn't a bit of it that I thought was done poorly. So yeah, that's a Mama. Great movie. Check it out if you have not for this Halloween season, and if you've seen it, you loved it, you should definitely watch this. So Mama. And yeah, the last two before we get into strictly new releases is one I've been wanting to get for so long, but the price tag on it for so long was outrageous. So finally, I don't know, out of the blue, it dropped to $14.99. I was like, okay, I'll buy that right now, whatever. I was just like, okay, take my money. It's like, what? It's like, oh, you're bringing out a new Star Wars movie. Okay, here's my money. Give me that. So when I seen that this was $14.99, I had to buy it. So that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's the 40th anniversary 4K digitally restored print. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. A little dust from these Blu-rays. I've had them for a while. Okay, so this movie is great. Tobe Hooper, the late great, rest in peace. I've been trying to get this movie forever. I've always wanted it. I've seen it a long time. I haven't seen it in a long time. Sorry, I meant to say. And my buddy used to have it on DVD. We'd watch it all the time. I always wanted to get it, but I could never find it. It's one of those movies where everybody seems to have it, and no one seems to have a problem finding it, and I can't get it. And then I get it, and tomorrow when I hunt, I'll find this. Guaranteed. In some shape or form. I definitely like the remakes, surprisingly, from produced by Michael Bay. But regardless, and the new one looks pretty cool, Leatherface. I haven't heard a lot about it. If you have anything to say about the new Leatherface movie, let me know in the comments. Was it good? But yeah, this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This movie looks fantastic on this transfer. Looks gorgeous. And yeah, it's such an awesome movie, the way that it's paced. Like, it doesn't fucking waste your time at all. It's just right into it, and it's just horrifying the entire time. Like, you know, like, even just the guy walking into the house, and it's all creepy, and then all of a sudden, spoiler alert if you've never seen this movie, spoiler alert, Leatherface here jumps out and just hits him with a mallet, and just the realistic reaction, and it's not like all gory or anything. The guy just falls down, sort of starts having a seizure, and you're like, holy shit, that's very realistic and gritty. And it just gets more non-realistic with kind of like the outlandish character aspect, but at the same time, people have been as crazy as this is based on real life shit like Ed Gein and such. But yeah, and boy does this movie have a great ending. Just absolutely classic. When I seen that it was $14.99, I was like, this is the Halloween. I can finally have this and watch it for the Halloween season. I already watched it. I'll probably watch it again closer to the day. So yeah, that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fantastic. I love this movie. Rest in peace, Tobe Hooper. You warped, sick bastard. But we loved you. So, yeah, the last one here is the American Werewolf in London. Sorry. This movie, I actually grew up watching American Werewolf in Paris a lot more. I didn't grow up seeing this a lot. I like the American Werewolf in Paris, but definitely it is nowhere near as good as this, with all its CG and whatnot. This is very classic, John Landis film, and it's probably my favorite John Landis film. The werewolf special effects are so great. Like, you can just throw this movie on, just watch those scenes. You can just be satisfied. They're fantastic. Great movie overall. Awesome edition. This is the restored 35th anniversary or something like that. I'm not sure. It's got tons of special features, though. There you go. You can pause and see all that cool stuff. So yeah, I was super happy to finally get this, and yeah, if you haven't seen American Werewolf in London or the sequel in Paris and you like werewolf stuff, definitely hunt them down, check them out. So yeah, that is that. And now we get into all the new releases. So without further ado, Justice League Dark, I picked this up, just seen it for $15. I know this came out, it's not like brand new, but it came out a while ago. I'd never seen it on day one, so I don't know if my store even got it initially, probably. But yeah, it's a really cool animated DC film. They're DC's best when they're doing their animated stuff, and this is a really cool take on the Justice League, where they kind of have like a magical sort of opponent to deal with, so they kind of enlist all these supernatural characters. Batman does, so he's the leader with all these awesome, supernatural superheroes, or kind of like anti-heroes. Constantine's, Swamp Thing. Can't remember a lot of these guys' names here, but this guy's really cool right here. But yeah, that's Justice League Dark. Cool movie. I liked it a lot better than some of the ones I've seen, but I like the DC animated films quite a bit. So yeah, for $15 with that pretty awesome slip cover, I was happy with that. This movie just came out today. Everybody's probably excited to get it, and I was as well. That is SpiderMan Homecoming. This is great to have. This is my third, or I guess the next one I bought before this one, the couple weeks earlier, or maybe it was a week earlier, but this is technically my third 4K movie that I own, and I thought this met my criteria for that. Basically, a lot of movies I'm not going to rebuy on 4K. I don't care. Like Goodfellas looks probably as great as Goodfellas is ever going to look. It may look better on 4K, but I don't care that much. But when it comes to like new movies and stuff that's shot on 4K, it's pretty much necessary for me to get like Spider-Man, to get like, all these new big movies. Like next week, I think War of the Planet of the Apes is coming out, and I'm debating whether I want that on 4K. I think I do. So but anyways, this movie's fantastic. My favorite version of Spider-Man so far. And really, I love the movie overall. I love the smaller aspect of the stories. It's not like some big, grand end of the world. It's very like, small storytelling, but it's Spider-Man. That's how I like it. And, we can bring him into the Avengers stuff for that. But when we do Spider-Man, we don't always need to see the end of the world. We need him to fight good villains. And he does that in this movie with Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, who's fantastic. But yeah, this is a great movie overall. Everybody knows about it. Everybody has said pretty much they loved it. And I love the way that they seamlessly integrated Spider-Man right into the Marvel Universe. They know what they're doing. They just do it so well. Loved it. I know some people critique the fact that it's got like too much Tony Stark, but I liked how how the collateral damage has affected everybody, and like even the villains, and that's the basic motivation is the collateral damage from the previous Marvel movies, and that's a really cool way to go at this. So, Spider-Man Homecoming, I loved it. I love the teenage stuff. John Watts is a fantastic director. He directed a Cop Car, which I love, and a Clown, which is fantastic. And yeah, this is his third film, I think, basically, and he did an amazing job for such a big task. It almost seems like it was effortless. So, Spider-Man Homecoming 4K Ultra, happy to own this, and I just watched it like an hour ago. It was freaking wicked. So yeah, my second 4K title that I've owned so far is Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Now, I know everybody hates this movie and whatnot. Dead Man Tell No Tales. I like it. I don't care. I don't really take these movies that seriously or really care too much about the plot holes. I just kind of watch them and enjoy the fun fantasy aspect. And to me, people were saying that Johnny Depp wasn't good in this. He wasn't funny. I thought he was funny. I thought Barbossa was good. Basically, Javier Bardem is the big draw for the whole film. He's amazing in it. His performance is outstanding. But the film itself, like the story, is kind of the same old sort of deal. But I don't know. I don't really have a problem with that. It's fine. Looks amazing. The special effects are outstanding. Rotten shark attack scene for the win. Love this movie. I don't care. I enjoyed it. To me, the first one's still the best. Then the second one. I like this one probably a little better than the fourth one, then the fourth one, then the third one. I don't really like the way the third one's paced, or really anything really about the third one. I don't like that one at all. It's alright though, but I'm not too hard on those movies because I don't really care that much. It's kind of, those are great movies to go to bed to. Throw them on, go to sleep. So, this one I was super happy to get. This was last week, and that is Baby Driver. Edgar Wright's fifth film. Really good movie starring Ansel Elgort. I know he's been in stuff, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Kevin Spacey, Lily James, Isa Gonzalez, John Hamm, Jamie Foxx. Great cast overall. I liked everybody in this movie, and it's just awesome. I love the way that the action is synced up with the music. That's really cool the way he did that. Edgar Wright movies all have such style, and this is no exception. Great performance, and the soundtrack is amazing. Yeah, very cool. I love the action scenes, the driving scenes. In particular, the first one. That one's really good. But I love how the final scene subverts your expectations so well. Like, you kind of expect like this. Spoiler. I don't want to say anything, but I just love the way that this movie constantly kind of like fakes your left, goes right sort of deal. It pulls the classic crossover move on your ass. So yeah, that is Blu-ray digital copy of Baby Driver. Fantastic film. Loved it in the theater. Loved it at home. Watch it if you have not. Lot of style, but also good substance as well. So, and I like his character, Baby Driver. He's kind of like this cool like superhero in a way, but like super anti-hero, because he's definitely a criminal. But anyways, Cult of Chucky. This movie was pretty fun. I know a lot of people hated it, but I don't take these movies seriously at all. I don't care as long as I laugh or think the kills were cool. That's all that matters to me. Don't have a lot to say about this other than I thought the cult aspect was kind of cool. I like how that worked. Curse was definitely better. Child's Play 1 is still my favorite. I would put this somewhere around 2 and 3 level good. And Seed and Bride are still shit to me. I don't even, like, even those ones, I'm like, even with where I don't care, Seed and Bride, though those still suck. So the last 3 films are from Scream Factory, Shout Factory's awesome releases. First one is an IFC film, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how it was released initially, but it's distributed now through Scream Factory. It is a Scream Factory. That's Jackals, from the director of Saw, the final chapter, which is that must mean the world. I don't even think I've seen that Saw, but this movie is really cool. Kind of a combination of You're Next and Strangers and home invasion sort of films like that, mixed with a cult aspect. And what's his name? Stephen Dorff's pretty cool in this movie. The rest of the cast I'm not too familiar with at all, but this was a very cool movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. There is no alternative artwork. Actually, yeah, there is kind of the same thing, just without that. So, the one thing I'll say about this, the main character, who's kind of like the driving force of the whole movie, the kid who... So basically, this movie, this family captures this kid at the very beginning of the movie, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? And then they bring him back home, and then you realize he has been, like, brainwashed by a cult, and they're trying to, like, brainwash him. And I know that's the worst grammar ever, but bring him back to their side, and then the cult show up, and it has one of the best awesome torture scenes I've seen in a while on a swing set involving some gasoline. Great. Check this movie out if you have not. It's pretty cheap from what I remember. I think it's about $16, brand new. So the last two here both showed up today. They're both the 2-week early sort of deal from Scream Factory. They came with the posters. Very excited to get them. And that is Dawn of the Dead, the remake here from Zack Snyder, written by James Gunn as well. Look at that artwork. That is gorgeous. That's the poster as well. Very cool. Good Lord, that's awesome. There's the spine. Lots of special features. That you get the theatrical version on disc 1. A bunch of features on there as well. New interviews, new behind-the-scenes footage, deleted scenes, commentaries out the wazoo. And then disc 2 is the unrated version. With I think you're probably seeing a lot of the special features from the original DVD release. So all the new stuff is on disc 1. So yeah, very cool. Show you the alternate artwork and the disc art. That is awesome. Love that. I liked how they went with something, another new art instead of the original. And maybe this is the original. I don't remember. I don't think it is. But and then you get disc 1 art. That's cool with the fat old lady zombie. And then the Help Alive Inside unrated. That is sweet art. That is great, Albert. Artwork overall on this, A+, A+. Love this movie. Love the original Dawn of the Dead more still. But I love this movie. They did a great job, and it's super fun. And this is a great addition. So yeah, that is Dawn of the Dead. And last but not least, I'm sure you see this one going. That is Land of the Dead. This also arrived today. Oh, look at that art. Kind of gotta get real close to it. Look at the detail on the characters. Always like this chick in the movie. She's very creepy looking. But yeah, Land of the Dead. I know some people don't like this one a lot, but to me, I always thought it was good. Definitely not as good as Dawn of the Dead remake, but very good George A. Romero zombie movie. Kind of, it's always making its statement and, saying more than, just dead people inherit the earth. It's always like a social commentary. This has tons of special features, new, lots of interviews, lots of, good Lord, there's tons of stuff on there. And then the unrated, it looks like the same deal, like a lot of the old features are on the unrated cut. So again, most of the new stuff is on disc 1. Very cool. Let's just show you the front again. Very awesome. Then we'll show you the interior artwork. They went with the original poster, which is super cool. I like that. The dead shall inherit the earth. This one's cool. I like Dennis Hopper in this movie. He's such a dick. John Leguizamo's good in it. The main character, I've never seen him in it really anything before or after. Kind of seems like a soap actor. But yeah, there's disc 1 art, great. Disc 2 art, which I really like. Okay. So yeah, that is very awesome. I was freaking stoked when these showed up today. So yeah. Just move everything over. Oh. So yeah, let me just kind of, I'm not going to show you the pops again, but yeah, that is a nice chunk of movies right there to pick up in one update video. So yeah, if you have anything to say about any of these grabs, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe this video if you like, as usual. And yeah, let me know if you're picking up these cool new releases like Land of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Jackals, Cult of Chucky, Baby Driver, Pirates 5, SpiderMan Homecoming. Get that. And what are you watching for Halloween? And are you jealous about Little Monsters? Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, until the next one, be easy.